Hello, everybody. It is my pleasure to welcome a true leader, visionary, whose dream builder has influenced the lives of thousands of people. And she's with us today to share her wisdom, reflections on how people can deal with this current coronavirus crisis. Mary, thank you for being with us.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me, Sandy.
So, what would you like our audience to know? How can they stay strong and resilient during this time?
Okay. Well, hi. Let me start by saying hi to you, fellow colleague in the world of helping people have better lives. Looking at the wonderful work you're doing, I can tell, Sandy, the group of people that you're working with and the amazing work you all are doing in the world. I share that with helping people have better lives in all the ways that we can. So here we are. We're facing a unique moment in human history. None of us have lived through this before, so we're finding our way as a species. But number two, very difficult things happening in human lives is not new to us. We have thousands of years of going through difficult moments. I'm not always collectively, but individually, and there are some things that can be learned in the traversing from one stage of experience to another, how you transform the circumstances, the difficulties you're facing into the next stage of your own life. About 1,000 years ago, there was a piece of writing called Dark Night of the Soul. And it was describing that everybody goes through dark and difficult times. Joseph Campbell, in his work on the hero's journey, talked about how every single one of us, you don't get through this life without being confronted with some things that are scary, difficult, unsettling. Your whole world is shaking, and it seems bigger than you. And so how you navigate that has everything to do with who you become in the process. I don't think you or I have any doubt that ultimately the world will get past coronavirus. I mean, we will find solutions. We do it every time, maybe not as quick as we want or without as much disruption as we would prefer. I don't think we're deep down worried that we're going to get through this difficulty. The question is, what will it mean to you individually? What will it mean to your business? What will it mean to what you bring forth during this time? And the thoughts you think and the way you approach it have everything to do with the long-lasting effects of what we're calling coronavirus, but really is the disruption that is right here. The universe evolves through chaos. Ilya Prigogine won the Nobel Prize for proving the law of thermodynamics, which is dissipative structures. And when a system is introduced to more friction than it's used to, it does one of two things. It dissipates and dissolves, or it evolves itself to a higher level of functioning. Closed systems cannot evolve. Closed systems must disintegrate. You put too much friction in a combustible engine car, don't have enough oil in there, it's going to blow apart. But a person, a couple, a family, a business, when there's friction, difficulty, challenge, you can re-evolve yourself to a higher level of function. And this moment, as difficult as it is, and dark in one way as it seems, is a perfect moment for us to really discover that we were far more capable and contained way more potential than we ever knew, individually and collectively. So individually, I've got some simple things that you can do. First off, number one, I call it dare the dark. When something dark or difficult comes in, it's tempting to just do everything we can do to make it go away, try to protect ourselves, ignore it, try to do a spiritual bypass on it. I really miss what's right here. So you got to look at square in the face and say, dang, this is challenging. This is difficult. And just in terms of the number of things that are changing, probably even as you're hearing this broadcast. So take a breath. And yes, this is happening. We get nowhere by denying the facts. But you don't want to catch the fear and miss the facts. So pay attention to the facts, number one, but you don't ignore them. Nor do you want to sugarcoat them or catastrophize them. And there's a temptation, as you notice in some of the way the broadcasting happens, for us to catastrophize what all of this means and can mean. So as that begins to occur, watch what's happening with your nervous system. We all have a part of our brain that was early developed in our species called the amygdala that is fight, flight, freeze. When we move into that portion of our brain, which, we don't want to go through the frontal lobes when we see a tiger coming our way or a car heading to us that's going 70 miles an hour. We want to act. We need that part of our brain. We needed it to develop upright human species with frontal lobe intelligence. The thoughts we think either put us in primitive brain or an evolved brain. You want to be in touch with that evolved brain to have creativity. So parasympathetic, of course, rest, digest, create. So your breath is one of your best friends here. I suspect you help all kinds of people with knowing how to do appropriate breathing, where you at least move into a calmer state where you can think from. The thoughts you're thinking, you have two hemispheres to your brain, right and left, corpus callosum, that communicates those signals. There is a fluid that goes around our brain and up and down the spinal fluid that conducts the vibration of those thoughts. So if we're thinking, oh my God, this could happen, how is this going to affect and we start to move into panic thinking, the vibration of that panic moves right into our nervous system and begins to create itself in the first substance available, which is our nervous system, our energy, and we become less creative and less solid in our ability to make good choices. So I'm not saying we're not facing difficulty. Dark times are difficult. The things we've depended on, the things we've gone to. Yes, it's very difficult. And it's in those difficult moments, as you know, if you work out, you don't build muscle strength when it's the first few reps. You build it when you're down to, how am I going to take the next one? And the spiritual muscle set, the energy of mindset muscle set that you actually are given the privilege of developing in this time is a rare moment. So you want to dare the dark. You want to remember that there's a power in you. You are far greater than you know. We all are. We have potential. We haven't even tapped, all of us. So you don't want to lose touch with that during this moment. Like, what can I do with this moment that would be helpful, creative? What can I do with what I have? You have a power to make different choices. Interestingly, in the United States of America, during the Great Depression, people were in bread lines, sleeping under cardboard, extremely difficult times for Americans. Statistically, more millionaires per capita were made during the Great Depression than any other time in American history. Not because times weren't difficult, but because they refused to agree with the difficulty and all of it meant. They didn't deny the difficulty. They denied the power of that difficulty over their creativity. So yeah, we have some difficulty. And you have a creativity in you. You have access to a creativity that can actually help you use this moment to be more productive, more helpful, more meaningful in the work that you do, or in any other endeavor. This can be a time to build all the kinds of things that matter to you. Your connection with loved ones, your connection with your work, your connection with yourself. These are right here. Number one, dare the dark. Number two, remember there's a power you could tap into. And number three, Napoleon Hill said, every difficulty, he said it this way, every adversity has within it. So how many adversities? Every adversity has within it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. But like any seed, it has to be planted, nurtured, grown, harvested. And the truth is, every acorn could become an oak tree. Only a certain number of acorns actually do, not because the potential isn't there, but because they're not planted in good soil that's sustained over time with appropriate moisture and dry and nutrients and light and dark and all the requirements to produce oak tree nests out of acorn nests. That's what we do with mindset, with breathing, with looking for the good. And the last part of this, if every adversity contains a good in it, be determined right now, and you determine for yourself, I will not go through this difficult moment and all of what it means without getting some gifts from it. There has to be good in this, and I'm going to find it, I'm going to grow it, I'm going to harvest it, and I'm going to bring it forth. So I hold for you great things, even in very difficult times.
That was an incredibly powerful message, such wisdom. I invite everybody to listen again, to share it with everybody you know, because this is the way forward. And I didn't wear this shirt which says believe for nothing. I believe everything that Mary has imparted for this time today. Mary, where can people find you to learn more?
Oh, you could go to Brave Thinking Institute. I'm the founder of bravethinkinginstitute.com. We're putting out a lot of free things right now to really help people. So I hope you'll have a chance to look at that and see what might be useful to you. Mary,
Thank you.
And you can write me at Mary at Brave Thinking Institute, but go to bravethinkinginstitute.com.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Be
you.
well. Stay safe.